Let's talk about how to pass the Shell video interview for 2024. What's up guys, it's Mike from Job Ready English. If you don't already know me, I've been helping professionals and graduates get jobs at some of the world's most difficult companies since 2013. And today we're going to be breaking down the first round interview process for Shell, the oil and gas giant. We're going to talk through some fast facts about Shell, what you can expect from their video interview process, and finally some of the most common questions that you can find on their video interview. So let's get started. In 2023, Shell generated $54 billion, the second highest revenue in its history. Shell has a target for zero methane emissions by 2030. According to the Brand Finance Global 500 list, Shell is listed as the most valuable oil and gas brand in the world. In 2023, Shell invested over $5.5 billion in low carbon energy. And in the same year, Shell spent over $1 billion on automation and AI research and development. You may know that Shell has a number of patents. What you didn't know is that Shell now has 8,829 patents listed belonging to the company. Okay, so there were some fast facts about Shell that you can use in your answer to why do you want to work for Shell. Now I have to say, Shell's video interview process is one of the easiest and friendliest going. It is a higher view video interview, 3 questions, 3 minutes to answer, unlimited time to prepare, and unlimited retakes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think I've ever come across a friendlier and easier higher view interview process for unlimited retakes and unlimited preparation time. So to be frankly honest, there's really no reason why you would fail the Shell video interview. Next up, let's go through the most common questions that I came across during our research from publicly available sources. Question number 1, tell us about a time when you used feedback from someone to your benefit. Okay, so receiving feedback from somebody else is incredibly valuable and something you're going to have to learn to do when you transition from university to professional life. Now, to be frankly honest with you, I, probably like you, am not the greatest person at receiving criticism. But this is very different from feedback. Feedback is basically a way of saying to somebody, this is really good and here's how we can make it better. Ideally, you want to frame this in terms of your professional life rather than your personal life, though academics work as well. For example, where your professor has provided a mark for an essay or given you feedback on a group project, and importantly, what did you do and how did you implement that feedback and how can you demonstrate that that feedback was useful? Generally, it's because you got better at your job, you got a higher grade in your next essay, or you did better in your next group work or presentation. And always remember when you're answering competency questions that you should use the STAR-based format, which is situation, task, action, result. Where were you? What were you doing? What did you do? What happened? And the majority of your answer should be emphasized in terms of the action part, i.e., what did you do? And to make your story better, more believable, and ultimately more interesting, don't forget to be specific about what you did and who you were with and what was interesting or funny about the task that you went through together. Question number 2, tell us about a time when you had a different opinion to somebody else. So having a different opinion to somebody else is really about communication. What we're aiming to do is trying to see if we can find some sort of common ground in order to move towards our end result. What this basically means is, say for example, in a very common place where people have a difference of opinion is at university when you're setting out to do a piece of group work together. Maybe you have to pick a particular topic or company that you're going to focus your group work on, and you and your teammates have a difference of opinion. The best thing to do is try to be as objective as possible, to lay out the pros and cons, and most importantly, to speak towards people's benefit or their incentive. So it could be that your company, your topic is more interesting. It could be more difficult to achieve a result. It could be something that fewer people have done. It could be easier, it could be less work. So really, when you're trying to compromise in a sense, you're also speaking towards what the person wants and what are their incentives. Question number 3, why do you want to work at Shell? Now 3 minutes is really quite a long time to answer this question. At the start of this video, I gave you 6 fast facts about Shell, and really this couldn't be easier. I just Googled Shell's annual report, I downloaded it and looked at all 246 pages. I realized I was never going to read that, and then I simply just put it into ChatGPT and asked it to summarize some facts which came not just from finance, but also from environmental, social, governance, charitable, and awards. And then I picked out the facts that I believe were most relevant. I think with 3 minutes to answer this question as well, this is also your opportunity to speak about a fact which is meaningful to you. Maybe you're talking about Shell's interest and impact in terms of moving away from fossil fuels and how global warming has affected yourself, your family, or people that you know and love around the world. This is a really great opportunity to put your personality, your spin on an answer which sometimes can really just feel like you're reeling off a list of facts. Question number 4, why do you want to do this role? Now, when you're answering this question, please make sure that you do not make the most common mistake, which is spending 3 minutes talking about yourself and why you are amazing and you are the perfect person to do this job if only somebody would give you a chance. Now, importantly, doing a HireVue interview, what you need to understand about the process is that your words are going to be changed into text, and then your text will be analysed by an algorithm which is looking for particular words and phrases which relate to the key skills and experiences that are required to do the job. So in order to kind of make sure that they're getting the right answers that they're looking for in terms of matching the job description, you should start off your answer by explaining basically what you would do in this job. And you can then go on to provide 3 or 4 key skills or strengths that you have alongside proof in order for you to really tick all of the boxes. Ultimately, the decision to proceed you on to the next round within the application process is purely based around how closely they've believed that you match and could fulfill the job description. And this is a great opportunity to tick a lot of those boxes. Question number 5, how do you implement empowering progress in your life? Now, this seems like a little bit of a woo-woo question, but ultimately it relates to Shell's core values, which is respect, honesty, and integrity. So empowering progress could simply be, how are you making progress in terms of your professional life, in terms of your academic life? One thing you want to think about when talking through the hierarchy of experiences is you really want to relate it to your professional or your academic. I do on occasion like listening to stories and believe they're relevant when they're personal, but only when the overcoming of a personal struggle then has an impact on your professional or your academic life. An important way to think about this so that you don't miss out on the details, instead of thinking on telling people, think about teaching them. So teaching them the steps that they would need to go through in order to get the same result as you. Question number 6, describe a time when you showcased your leadership in order to help a team to achieve their goal. So talking about leadership is really just about having a focused goal in mind and being able to marshal the resources at your disposal in order to meet that goal. When you're driving a team towards reaching a goal, in order for each individual person within the team to not feel overwhelmed, they will generally have a task, a specific part that they have to achieve. However, as a leader, it is your job to be able to see the sum of all parts and the direction through which everybody is moving. A common misconception about leadership, generally from an inexperienced point of view, is that leadership or management is really just about barking orders at people or making people do stuff while you sit there and don't do anything. When the truth is, in my experience and also observing other people who I define as being good leaders, this is somebody who really goes above and beyond with their team, or is going to stand alongside them as they're trying to complete difficult things, will provide encouragement, and also will provide support and assistance where needed. There is no quicker way to lose respect for somebody than to not be there when things get really difficult and your supposed leader or manager is nowhere to be seen. Now again, as you're going through this, try to be really specific in terms of the other members of your team that you're helping, how they are helping you, and most importantly, that it is always is a team effort. Nobody likes somebody who sits there and humble brags that if it wasn't for them, then perhaps none of these things would have happened. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit shorter than normal because I found that it was a fairly constant of similar questions that happened for Shell. Again, probably one of the easiest processes I've come up against. Please make sure that you like and comment on this video. This helps other people to see the video, helps other people to pass their interview, and it helps us to know that this is content that you love and enjoy. Let me know how you get on with your interview, what brings you here, or what other videos you'd like us to make. Bye.